Hey loves, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'll be checking out this interesting video from Michael Knowles, and it's titled I Feel So Bad for Mia Khalifa. You guys, I'm excited for this. If you're yet to subscribe to this channel, please consider subscribing. Give this video a massive thumbs up, comment, share, and all that good stuff. And without much ado, let's see what Michael Knowles has for us in this video.
This phrase, what doesn't get you in the rinse will get you, what doesn't get you in the wash will get you in the rinse. This applies to a video that's just gone viral from the porn actress Mia Khalifa. Don't worry, you don't necessarily need to take your children out of the room if they're watching this right now. It's not one of those videos. This woman goes viral all the time for political reasons, which I guess is better than presumably her other videos on the internet. I don't know though, actually, because the content of her political activism is so awful that I can only imagine what her actual obscene content looks like. Mia Khalifa has gone viral in this case, not for her pro-terrorism activism, but because she was recounting a very ugly incident that happened to her at a restaurant. Here in her own words.
And I get come up to by this guy and his girlfriend, and we were interrupted in the middle of talking and eating, and he said, "Hey, Mia Khalifa, can I get a picture with you?" And I looked up at him and I'm like, "No, we're eating." And I said it just like that. Like it was a rude way, but it was also very rude for him to come up while someone was actively in the middle of a conversation. And after I said that, his girlfriend, who was standing next to him, grabbed him by the arm and said, "I told you that wasn't her. There's not enough on her face. Let's go, babe." And I went into the bathroom and cried, and I didn't really know how to handle it, especially because it came from a woman, and especially because I was there for business, and it was something that had nothing to do with the adult industry, and I was just very dejected and embarrassed and felt like they would never want to work with me again.
That must have been really...
I kind of feel bad for Mia Khalifa here. Now, obviously, every single person involved in this story is just terrible.
Yeah.
Just everyone involved here is doing something wrong and disreputable. But I feel bad for her. That's a really nasty thing to say. I mean, first of all, as she says, it was the woman. So think about how many things had to go wrong for this situation to take place. A guy would walk up to a porn performer in public.
I can't even imagine.
And admit that he watches pornography. So degrading, so creepy, so weird. The guy would do it in front of his girlfriend. And she's apparently okay with it. So weird, so depraved, so creepy. And then the girlfriend is the one who makes the obscene comment at the porn lady. Now, Mia Khalifa admits, she says, "I was very rude to them. They come up to me, they ask for a picture, they're fans, I guess, and they're willing to admit that. Then I was rude to them. That was wrong. She shouldn't do that. If anyone is going to come up to you and be nice to you and compliment you in public, you ought to be gracious about that. That's a good thing to do." And then what? They were rude back to her, and she was upset by this because she felt shame because they pointed out that she's a hooker.
Who she is.
And they described the shameful actions that she boasts about and publicizes, and that they are so encouraging of that they would actually approach this woman in public and talk about how great it is. But the moment that they became hostile toward one another, the gal pointed out the shameful acts that this girl does, and the girl felt shame for those shameful acts. What doesn't get you in the wash will get you in the rinse.
Exactly.
Believe it or not, even in the year of our Lord 2024, even in modern society, actions still have consequences.
You guys, I totally agree with what Michael Knowles said in this video. Action still has consequences, whether it happens immediately or it happens later. I don't know who Mia Khalifa is. I have never watched any of her content, but I find it so funny that what Mia Khalifa does on the internet, what she promotes, what she stands for is being thrown into her face, and that made her cry. I don't think the fact that she was being called out made her cry, but the fact that she was rude to those people and they in turn were rude to her, that was the reason why she cried. Let me know what you guys think about this scenario that played out in that restaurant. What would you have done if you were in the guy's place? Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and let's wrap this video up, you guys.
What she's really upset about, she says she's upset that a woman would say this to her in public. What she's really upset about is the shame of prostituting herself and degrading herself and treating herself, she's a human being with a soul made in the image and likeness of God, treating herself as nothing but flesh to be transformed into glittering pixels on a screen that can then incite the lusts of men and women, apparently, and become fodder for other shameful sexual acts. That's what really bothers her. But she can't admit that. Even as she's speaking openly and vulnerably about this, she can't admit that. We can't admit in our culture that actions have consequences. And so we're always surprised. We're always surprised when we reap what we sow. And when we're talking about politics, there's that great line from H.L. Mencken, which is that democracy is the theory that the common people know what they want and deserve to get it good and hard. And we're shocked. We're shocked when the totally predictable results of our actions turn out to be true. Wow. Shocking. Totally. What else did we expect? China seems to be pretty bullish on Trump's chances in 2024. The Chinese state-run newspaper, the Global Times, just came out and told the world, this was before the Iowa caucuses actually, to quote, prepare for the possibility of Donald Trump being reelected as president. And you might say, well, this is propaganda. If you don't like Trump, you probably say, see, China is pulling for Trump. Though they're not really pulling for him. They're just saying there's a real chance the guy's going to be reelected. And that might be the case. Foreigners sometimes have a better sense of our politics than we do. I remember back in 2016, Vladimir Putin, America's foe, Vladimir Putin, came out and he said in the early days of the primary, he said, there's no question Donald Trump is the leader in the Republican race. And I thought, oh, that's crazy propaganda, or he's just trying to get in our heads, or he's completely misreading the situation. This was back when all the really smart people thought Trump didn't have a chance. But Putin was right. Which makes sense. I mean, you'd think that the dictator of a nuclear former superpower might have a little bit of insight into politics. A guy who came up as a KGB communist in the Soviet Union, he probably understands a little bit about politics, probably more than your average keyboard warrior pundit.
Yeah.
He was right. And China might be right here too. The reason that foreigners sometimes have better insight into our politics than we do is the same reason that you have great insight into all of your friends' problems. Don't you? You have really, really good insight. Me too. We have really good insight into all of our friends' problems and everything that they're doing wrong and everything that they're missing. But we don't have quite as much insight into our own problems, do we? No, that's a mystery. We're befuddled by that. Put in a pithier way and a more profound way, we're really good at seeing the speck in our neighbor's eye. We're not so good at seeing the plank in our own eye. And I think that's what's going on here. I don't think China is running this headline because they're really eager for Trump to get back in the driver's seat. Don't forget, before COVID, we were in the midst of a trade war with China, and we were winning, contrary to what the smart set said would happen. Man, what a great clip that was. Now, hold up. You got to ring that bell. Subscribe to the Michael Knowles YouTube channel. Now, please. Pretty please. Thank you. Appreciate that. See you next time.
Wow, you guys, that was such an interesting one from Michael Knowles, and I really enjoyed every minute of this video. What Michael Knowles said about Mia Khalifa was so right. Let me know what you guys think about the situation with Mia Khalifa and her fans. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.